Hello everybody, completely unplanned video here. I didn't even plan to make this video before the Oscars happened or after the Oscars happened, because this is the day after that whole Oscar thing happened, everything was crazy, and I didn't even plan to make this video because I didn't want to talk about it anymore. But then I just got the urge to make this video because I need to talk about what happened at the end of the Oscars last night. There are so many things that I have to say that I need to get off my chest about this whole incident that happened. I felt like I couldn't just pass this offer up because this is something I need to talk about. So this is a completely unplanned video and I'm gonna do my best to talk about why the Oscars are a complete joke. I never liked the Oscars. Never. I never liked the Oscars. I always thought they were nominating movies that were just movies nobody cared about and movies that nobody's gonna remember. And yeah, that's what the Oscars always does. But then that little screw-up happened at the end of the night where they mentioned that La La Land was the Best Picture winner. But oops, the Oscars gave Warren Beatty the wrong card and he read the wrong thing. This is a mistake not only on Warren Beatty's part, but it's also a mistake on the Oscars' part. Because this is the most popular award show for film out there. This is the award show that people go to see what the best movies of 2016 were. This is the award show that everybody watches. It's the most well-known award show. It's basically the highest award show that you can ever see for film. This is the show that everyone puts their passion into. So the fact that they made a mistake like this is disrespectful and incredibly offensive. They have months to plan this. This show is very important. They had months to plan this before it happened so that they didn't give Warren Beatty the wrong card. The way that this works is that there are two cards that say Emma Stone is the best actress. Warren Beatty got one of the cards, Emma Stone got to keep the other. And he was holding it, he was just like, oh, looks like I got the wrong card. He didn't really say anything about it. He paused and everyone thought he was trying to be funny. And then he showed it to the other girl not knowing what to do that was with him. And she immediately just said La La Land because you could tell she wanted him to say the answer already. Everything was completely awkward between the two of them, so she just clearly read it and was just like, okay, it's La La Land, and announced that in front of everybody. But what Warren Beatty should have done was said, oh, hey guys, looks like you gave me the wrong card. But no, he just makes himself look like a complete idiot. I've heard other rumors that people are saying this is a conspiracy, this was planned, this was all stuff that was planned, but that doesn't really make sense. I think this was just an honest mistake by the Oscars, and I can't really excuse it for that because this show is the highest film award show ever. It's the one everyone goes to see, it's the one that everyone watches, and they had to screw up something that was so simple to do. La La Land team had to go up there thinking their movie had won and then to be interrupted saying that Moonlight actually won, and they had to be good sports about it. If I were Damien Chazelle, I would have taken it nicely with a lot of the Academy and stuff, but I still internally would have been crushed, and I'm sure he is right now. Because La La Land changed the game. This is a modern musical made in the style of the old musicals from the 40s and 50s, and it was made for the big screen, it was made new. It has a very, very deep message, some very good themes. It literally changed the game. It was incredibly different and original and unpredictable, which is very different for a romance musical to be. Most romance musicals are just like predictable and they're just generic, but this movie was so different. It changed everything. It was ambitious. Damien Chazelle is a young man who had such a passion for the old musicals of the 40s and 50s, and he wanted to try to resurrect the genre. And he made a great movie out of that may be even better than a lot of the movies that came out back then. So the fact that Moonlight won over it is just bullcrap even of itself. I have not seen Moonlight. I can't say anything about that movie because I have not seen it. But to me and to a lot of other people, it just seems like another one of those Oscar bait movies. It's literally every single checkmark that an Oscar bait movie has. The majority of people that loved Moonlight, they were like, yeah, this movie is amazing. It's really good. It deserves to be nominated for Best Picture. But are you gonna watch Moonlight ever again afterwards, many years later, from 2016? No. The movie you're going to remember from 2016 is La La Land because the movie is so different. It's so ambitious. It came out of nowhere. And that was a movie that just changed everything, and it was incredibly popular. Many years later, you're not going to remember Moonlight. You're not going to want to go like, hey buddies, let's watch Moonlight. Let's pop it into the Blu-ray player and watch Moonlight together. Yay! Racial stuff! You're gonna want to watch a really fun musical that had a really deep theme and it had a lot of really ambitious things behind it, and it was obviously much better than Moonlight. That's been my major problem with the Oscars for such a long time. Take last year's show, for example. You had movies nominated like Mad Max Fury Road, which is an action movie that changed action movies forever. We've had so many bad action movies in recent years, and then Mad Max was just like, oh my gosh, this is one of the best action movies ever made. And it was. It is one of the most incredible action films ever made. Tons of practical effects. It literally changed everything. It was so popular that year. Everyone loved it. Everyone was entertained by it. But no, they had to choose Spotlight for the Best Picture win because that's all Oscar bait. I have not seen Spotlight, okay? I haven't seen it. I hear it's very great. But I feel like as well, if I saw Spotlight and really liked it, I probably would have been like, yeah, that was really good. That deserves the nomination. But Mad Max deserves the Best Picture win because that movie is so different and it changed the game of film, and it's one of the best films of the entire decade. At least with the 2014 Oscars, when they had Birdman win and they had Whiplash up for a lot of stuff, that was good. That was really great. I love that. Because Birdman and Whiplash are both very different movies. They're not Oscar bait. They're very different things. And it was just like, yes, thank you, Oscars. Thank you. Thank you, Oscars, for actually supporting movies that aren't just about racial politics and homosexuality and all those stuff, because those movies were so different, and they were also entertaining, and they were so different, and you're gonna remember those movies way over other Oscar bait movies that came out that year. Guys, after this whole fiasco, I'm pretty sure I'm done with the Oscars. I don't want to support a show that's literally the highest film awards show ever, but makes a mistake that stupid. Not only did it do that, but it also had someone in the in memoriam segment that was still alive. You can tell that all these people in the Academy are just old farts that don't care about what they're doing. We need new people in the Academy that actually really give a passion about film and are younger. We need people that are actually passionate about what this is and aren't obsessed with boring talking movies with Oscar bait stuff in them. The only way they're gonna convince me to watch the Oscars next year after this insane thing happened was if they nominated a movie like Star Wars: The Last Jedi or Logan or some other big sci-fi or comic book movie that was actually really great. Then I would do it, because that's like, yes, that actually deserves it. That's a movie that I'm going to remember from that year. Not only because it's something really, really nerdy, but also because it's legitimately a great film and deserves it over a lot of the other Oscar bait movies. That's the only way you're going to convince me to watch the Oscars next year, because otherwise, I don't think I'm doing it. This year, it was drawn out, it was super long, I wasn't having a good time, and I just wanted to go to sleep. So next year, when they screw things up again and don't nominate any of the movies that deserve it, and don't let any of the movies that deserve it win, I'm going to be sound asleep in my bed, which is right there, just out of the shot. I'm going to be sound asleep, just dreaming of weird things, because I don't care about the Oscars anymore. If you want a good award show for film, if you're like someone who's legitimately passionate about film, if you want a good award show for films, how about you watch Austin Putnam and John Maffio's show, the Next Gen Film Awards, which I actually had the privilege of voting for. I'm not presenting in it, but I got to vote for it. Even the Golden Globes isn't very good. None of the award shows that are on TV or actually professional award shows are very good. So the fact that the best award show out there is a YouTube show that I got to be involved in is really sad. So guys, go support the Next Gen Film Awards whenever those happen. They won't happen for a while, but go support those, because that deserves your actual time. Those are people that actually aren't old farts and actually give a crap about filmmaking and movies that you're gonna remember. And with that, that concludes my rant on the Oscars of this year. Oh my goodness, I haven't been this pissed off at the Oscars ever before. I can't recall another time that I've been this angry at them. But speaking of Logan, which I mentioned earlier in this video, I'm going to be doing reviews of the Wolverine movies leading up to that movie. I'm going to be reviewing X-Men Origins Wolverine very soon. Can't wait to do that. That movie was a piece of crap though. Jeez. And look out for that review, and if you like this video, be sure to like it, be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and bye-bye!